Mitch, it's not often in New Zealand's history that we've seen the kind of variety in the spinners you have. You have four different world-class spinners. Everyone offers something different. Is this the best spin attack that you've seen or you've played with?
That's probably the most spinners we've had. Yeah, I think like what you said. I think everyone offers something different with the ball. I guess me and Rutchin bowl differently, and so do Bracewell and Phillips. I think having a few all-rounders as well makes it the balance of this side good. We can still play the seamers if we need to, and I think that the way everyone's kind of stepped up at different times this tournament's been I guess one of the most pleasing things. We've seen Phillips do it with a bat and in the field, but he's obviously taken some pretty key wickets this tournament, and obviously Rutchin's spell the other day was awesome as well. So I know we've got obviously a few spin options, and so do India. So we'll see.
So do you think that New Zealand would be third time lucky as well against India in the ICC event final?
I mean, hopefully we're third time lucky, but no, I think we know India are going to be a challenge tomorrow. They've been playing some very good cricket. They understand these conditions pretty well, but I think we've also been playing decent. Admittedly, obviously slightly different conditions, but I think obviously having the run against India here a few days ago will definitely help us out, understanding the conditions a little bit better. But it is a knockout game, and I guess whoever turns up on the day could take home a trophy.
Question to you is, how much did that defeat in the previous game would actually work? Because India bowled really well, and they're also played four spinners. Would you be also tempted to play four spinners?
Yeah, I think it was obviously a challenging game. India played, very well. I think in terms of, I think we'll take, a bit of, we did a lot of good stuff in that game. Obviously, we came up against a good side and on a spinning wicket, especially second innings. So we'll learn from that. We know India are probably going to go in with the same team. So I guess we understand, and guys will, I guess, be better for the run. But we know it's, it might be a different surface. It might play exactly the same. So I think we have to be ready and be adaptable for what's coming. And I mean, it's like I said before, it's kind of just a one-off game. So whoever can turn up will be good.
Here. It boils down to handling pressure. That's what they say. So, talking about the final, have you learned any tricks from your captains you played under, like Kane or MS? Some tricks to handle pressure for this type of final?
Yeah, I guess throughout my career, I've played under some very good captains. Obviously for New Zealand and overseas. I think it's easy to say that it's just another game. That's obviously not, but I think the way you approach it has to be the same. We've just, we're doing a lot of good stuff this tournament. We're just trying to progress and build on the things that we've been doing as a team, and keep trying to take this team forward. It's obviously on the biggest stage tomorrow, but I think the guys will go in with confidence. Try to keep it pretty relaxed, an environment thing, and just let the guys go out there and have some freedom and enjoy it. It's I guess it's some guys have been there before. Some guys are playing their first ICC event and to make it to a final. So it's I think everyone's in different shoes. But I think I guess from my point of view, it's trying to just make it pretty relaxed, make it pretty calm, and go out there and enjoy it and see what happens.
Just want to ask that, what's the update on Matt Henry? He wasn't not seen him in the bus today, the practice session. He wasn't there also. And is there any extra pressure on the video footage guys on Varun Chakravarti, because he didn't bowl a lot, but you have played him, in the IPL also, you saw him in the IPL. Is there any kind of extra pressure against Varun Chakravarti on video editor guys, and the update on Matt?
Yeah, so we'll be going across the road and training after this, and Matt's going to have a bowl just to see how he is. And then I guess we'll make a call after that. And then I guess I think guys will be better for the run against Varun. He's obviously a world-class bowler. We've seen it here and obviously in the IPL. And little bit of mystery, but it was, the first time some of the guys have been facing him. So I think, they'll learn from the other day. If the pitch plays a similar way, it'll be a challenge along with, all three of their other spinners. So, I think, boys will be ready for tomorrow and looked at a little bit more footage. And, I think we obviously know what his threats are now. That 115k arm ball, that got me. That was a bit of a threat. But we know he's going to be a challenge.
Mitch, you'll be aware that David Miller said that he'd be supporting you guys tomorrow after the semi-final. India are obviously going to have a lot of fans supporting them here as well as elsewhere in the world. But do you just sense at all that the wider cricketing world might be backing you?
I don't know. I guess you kind of build relationships with these guys. Like I've played with Davey in a couple of tournaments, and I guess that's the beauty of the franchise world is you get to see guys. Well, you play against guys a lot, but you get to share dressing rooms with some of the greats and a few of the boys on the circuit around the world. So you get to form kind of good relationships with people. And I can't imagine there'll be too many black shirts out there tomorrow. But I guess we have the country behind us back at home. Admittedly, it's probably the middle of the night, but if everyone can kind of skip work and then watch the cricket, that'll be good.
There's been much documentation about the fact that you've had to fly here twice, go straight into practice, and weather's a little bit warmer. So what are the energy levels in the team right now? What's the mindset? You've come off a strong win, so what's the mindset ahead of tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a shock. The old jumped up 10 degrees in the last 4 days for us, but I think obviously coming off a semi-final win, the guys are in pretty good spirits. But I guess and also ready for this challenge that is tomorrow on a wicket that will play obviously a little bit different to Lahore. But I think we'll get a good run around tonight, and then obviously yesterday was a good day to recover for the boys, and then we'll be hopefully firing and ready to go by tomorrow.
Mitch, New Zealand in recent times have been always in the business end of tournaments, but you've not been able to clear the final hurdle. Just tell me, how important a win for this will do for the cricketing ecosystem back home, especially now you've lost someone like the experience like Saudi and Bolt. So for inspiring the next generation of New Zealand cricketers, how important a big white ball win will do for New Zealand cricket?
Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. I think obviously going to this tournament, we had a bit of a tough start with a few injuries, but I think the mix of experience and then a few younger boys in this group is, I think I think all we asked for at the start was, all buy into a way of how we want to approach cricket on and off the field, and we've been playing some good cricket, and may it continue, but I think you have to just try to treat it as another chance against a very good opposition. I mean, you get to the business ends of these tournaments, and your first goal was to make playoffs, and but going to a final, it's whoever can kind of stand up on the day, and I think the way we kind of go about it is not trying to get, I guess, overruled by the occasion, and that's kind of done with the guys in the group, the support staff, and everyone kind of around it, trying to keep it pretty relaxed, and but also know that we have to put in a good shift tomorrow, and then let's see what happens.
India's batters are also good players of spin bowling, and you achieved a fair bit of success against them, especially in the Test match in Pune last year. So, generally, what are your plans when you bowl to them? I mean, the Shreyas Iyer is a good player of spin. Virat is hugely experienced, and so how do you go about tackling India's batters generally?
Yeah, I think it's we obviously have our plans for most players, but I think it's kind of dictated on the surface a little bit. I think we talk about a lot as a unit is adapting as quick as we can to what pace and what works on that surface. I guess the other night it was a little bit of a change of pace, being a little bit slow off the surface. I felt like you had to really get it into a good length for a period of time against good players, and try, I guess, build pressure through dots and false shots. And then I guess we saw in the second innings where there was a little bit more turn. I think as a bowler, it kind of makes it a little bit easier. You just kind of, bowl that ball the same spot for a long time, and hopefully it spins, and hopefully, one might skid. So I think, we speak about a lot as bowling partnerships, not just spinners, obviously as seamers, and trying to, I guess, build the pressure through the middle with dots. And, we know these guys are very good players of spin, so trying to, whether it's slightly different fields, whether it's a variation of pace, trying to, get wickets through, I guess, pressure versus, I don't think it'll be a wicket where, you're going to spin any teams out, especially if they're good players of spin.
Yeah. Mitchell here. No matter what happened the other night, is it fair to say that New Zealand have among the best players of spin in the middle order in this tournament? And if that is the case, how much confidence does it give you?
Yeah, I think we were challenged, especially in the middle overs through spin. I think we're hanging in there for a good period of time, and then, I think when you see like you lose wickets in clumps, it's obviously tough to come back from, I think. But I think credit to all four of their spinners the other night. They all bowled extremely well. Obviously Varun took most of the treats, but I think the way Axar and Jadeja denied us for a long time, and so it might be something similar again on a slow wicket where it's if you can kind of just rotate and hit the odd bad ball away, get yourself up to a decent score, and then I guess on the flip side of us with the ball, it's the same. It's trying to build pressure for a long period of time and produce kind of a false shot. But I think through the middle, like you said, we've got some good players of spin, and it's about them trying to just play their games, and whether it's get your broom out and sweep, or it's use your feet, or I guess we kind of give our players the freedom to play their own way.
Mitch, this has been an interesting venue when it comes to how the ball behaves under lights. In some of the matches we have seen the ball was it was slowed down, the wicket slowed down. But in the last game against Australia, we've seen ball was coming onto the bat fairly well. India have lost all the 4 tosses, but they have managed to win all 4 matches. So just wanted to know, is it a good toss to lose at this particular venue?
Well, it looks like a good toss to lose for Rohit because they keep winning. But yeah, I think even our pitch played slightly different to the semi-final wicket. So I think it's whatever you end up doing, you just have to do it well for a period of time. I think Aussie, we're probably on track to score a few more runs, but they keep trying to take wickets through the middle, and then India will be able to squeeze them back to that kind of 260, and then I guess the master of a chase, Kohli, kind of helped that out. So I think it's whatever you end up doing, it's trying to do it well for obviously a long period of time, and hopefully if we win a toss, we'll see what happens. But I think we've kind of got to be ready for it to be either very similar to our game or a little bit different. So, and it's finding out what works with both bat and ball for a long time.
Mitch, given the conditions here, there may not be a 350 here, and you guys have played the Indian spinners already. And also most of you, or maybe all of you, have played Test cricket. So that should help negotiate the Indian spinners and play like that technique.
Yeah, I think we have to kind of go in with an open mind of how the pitch will play, and then adjust accordingly. Get those comms back to the groups, what you think are good scorers. I think we obviously it could be a 300 wicket. We don't know, I guess, yet, but it could also be a 250 kind of winning score. So it's and that's, I think you can lose the game in the power play with the bat, but I think we've seen throughout this tournament, if you can kind of guys can come back from, if they keep wickets in hand, and then you can really set up a death phase with the bat. So I think there will be periods throughout this game on both sides where you're under pressure for a period of time, but if you can kind of withstand that and get through it, it might get easier. So that's I guess all we can hope for, especially the batters. It's if India are going to bowl well in periods, and it's just trying to withstand that the best you can, and then finding a time to put the pressure back on their bowlers.